This economy right now is twice as large as it was in 1980. But most people don't know that because their wages, if they have jobs, their wages have stagnated for 3 decades. In fact, they've been going down. If you adjust for inflation, they've been actually going down. Now, where's the money gone? If the economy is twice as large as it was 3 decades ago, and if most people have not seen a wage increase, in fact, most people's wages are going down and they're losing their jobs, where did the money go? It went to the top 1%. A lot of it went to the top 1/10 of 1%. Why do you think there's not enough demand for the goods and services that are being produced in this country? Exactly. There's not enough demand because consumers whose spending is 70% of the economy, they're worried about their jobs, they're worried about their wages, they're worried, and so they're not going to spend, and if they're not going to spend, who's going to create jobs if there are no customers? You see the vicious cycle we get into when so much income and wealth go to the top? But it's not just the economy that suffers. It's also our democracy. By 2007, the top 1% was no longer getting 9% of total income. By 2007, the top 1% was getting 23.5% of total income. And then you know what happened in 2008.
They took it off.
Financial capitalism has taken over from real capitalism. Financial capitalism is taking over from products and services, from people that actually produce goods and services. And that has distorted our entire system. And by the way, the 400 richest Americans right now have more wealth than the bottom 150 million Americans put together. When you get that much income and wealth at the top, inevitably, some people at the top, not all people at the top, but some of them are going to abuse their income and wealth and corrupt the political system. I don't want to mention names like Charles and David Koch. That would not be nice of me. That would not be fair. But they, each of them worth $25 billion. Each of them worth $25 billion. What they are doing is using a chunk of their fortune to pollute and corrupt American democracy. We must take America back because it is too precious. Our democracy is too precious to allow it to fall in the hands of a few people. Now, I know some people say, oh, this Occupy movement, there are no demands. They haven't got their act together. They're not a political movement yet. But let me assure you, many of you have been, as I have been, involved in years past with the civil rights movement, the anti-Vietnam movement, many other movements in this country that at their beginning, in their first months or even in their first years, we weren't sure about exactly what the demands were going to be, but we are motivated by a moral vision. A moral vision. A moral vision of what America could be. And so I say to you, whenever you come across people that say, oh, the occupiers don't have their acts together, you tell them there is a powerful an indestructible moral vision underlying this movement. And it is a vision of a fair and a just economy and a democracy that works for everyone. And finally, let me just say, it's not going to be easy. Nothing worth doing in terms of social change in this country is easy. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. I know many of you who have been involved. You've talked to me about sometimes you feel a little frustrated. Sometimes you feel it's just a huge amount of work. You don't get very much credit for it. You worry that it's just never going to change. But I'll tell you something. There is nothing more powerful than people mobilized and organized and energized to make America stronger and better and truer to its core principles. And that's what you are doing. Let's be candid about this. It's a problem of our Supreme Court. And I'm going to name names. They start with Roberts, and Scalia, and Alito, and Clarence Thomas, and too often Justice Kennedy. And what they have decided, among other things that are heinous, that are ridiculous, that are grotesque, they've decided under the First Amendment that money is speech and corporations are people. I will believe that corporations are people when Georgia and Texas start executing corporations.